You should be calling them out. Somebody like you who has standing with kids, it's demeaning and insulting, quite frankly, because it's reducing what I do.
Let's segregate society between dark-skinned people and light-skinned. It says boys and a separate doorway on the other side of school that says girls. And I'm thinking,
God!
Why are we doing this?
Because people are mostly boys and girls?
Welcome back to Rattlesnake TV, guys. Today we are going to watch Bill Maher absolutely sizzle the repository of all wisdom and knowledge, past, present, and future, Neil deGrasse Tyson. This one goes into an area that I am particularly passionate about, so I will not be holding my tongue today. So with that, let's get into it.
So Bill, how come nothing makes you happy?
Nothing. What are you talking about?
You're the grumpiest. You know what I feel like right now?
Why do you find grumpy?
I feel like now I'm going to turn 65. I feel like we're on your porch in the rocking chair. Get off my lawn, you.
I'm not the grumpy one.
No, let me ask. Can I ask? I know it's your podcast, but I've been carrying questions within me for you.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Carrying them.
Okay.
Wow.
So you don't, as I heard you say, maybe you dot it here and there, but you've abandoned college campuses in your stand-up.
Every comedian has.
Okay. So
literally everyone.
Let me ask you. If you came up today, would you just read the landscape and develop a whole other comedic repertoire that does not end up having people picket outside your thing? Are you just transposed and you're not adjusting to the shifting terrain? So why is it their fault and not your fault?
Well, you're being so broad about the whole thing.
Yeah, I am.
Well, but that doesn't work because that doesn't ever explain anything. If you want to talk about specific issues, it's funny, this subject comes up a lot of times with like people who are, my friends who are around my age, 40. And they have like kids who are like super woke and drive them fucking nuts.
I got woke kids. I will never be as woke as my kids would want me to be, ever.
Yeah, but you're a little too, still. And woke does not automatically mean better. Newer does not automatically mean
that's
better.
True.
So that's why I say to talk broadly is bullshit. You have to talk about what specific, issue are we talking about? The ones that get people's attention or gender issues.
Yeah, I know, but what?
Things like that. This is very different.
You cut your teeth in the 70s.
What I'm saying is,
and you read the room.
Okay, but I'll answer
you. Read the politics.
I didn't read the politics.
Yes, you did.
How the fuck do you know what I did?
Because I know your jokes of the era. They were great.
Well, a lot of people think they're great now.
Okay, they're still great.
I don't know if you don't any.
No. What I meant was,
am I not woke enough for you?
Were jokes that would work on a college campus. Okay. Surely there's a portfolio of jokes that would still work on a college campus. Surely.
I would hope not. From what maybe some college campuses, the ones you read about are fucking insane.
You've given up on an entire generation, and you don't know how to make them laugh.
I have given up on any place that doesn't even remotely attempt to believe in free speech and thinks that anything that they hear that they don't like, that they don't agree with, is violence. These people are fucking nuts, and you should be calling them out. Somebody like you, who has standing with kids, should be not joining them.
When there's a science objectivity to it.
You're doing what parents do. You're taking the path of least resistance, and therefore hurting the kids and yourself. Parents ruin both their lives. They ruin their fucking spoiled kids' lives, and they ruin their own lives because the kids rule the roost. So that's what you're doing on a national level.
Guys, if you enjoy being told exactly what to do by the cosmic prophet and the oracle of all that is good and progressive, Neil deGrasse Tyson, then just hit that like button, because that way more and more people out there will be able to hear this important message. And if you really do like progressive videos, then that's all I do here. So subscribe to the channel and you will be able to see much, much more. Back to the clips.
So here's my point.
That's my
I'm trying to get through to people on my social media and the like, and I see what pisses people off, what they react to, and I say, all right, these are the landmines. I'm going to navigate that. I'm going to navigate.
Okay, you're
So I navigate it so that I can, because my father's greatest bit of wisdom to me, several nuggets. One of them was, it's not good enough to be right. You also have to be effective. And if you reject the college campus, then you have no influence on them. They're not going to say, oh, we're not going to get Bill, maybe we should change. then you have no influence on them.
Sweetheart, I can wait till they grow up a little. Okay, I can wait. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about with comedians.
You pull age rank on me?
Comedian. No, you don't know what I'm talking about. You know you know outer space.
Well, what I will tell you.
I know fucking doing comedy shows.
You got comedy from the 90s, 2000s, 2010s. They decade them.
Yeah.
And I listen to comedy from the 2000s.
But
half the jokes you can't tell today.
But exactly. And just to put this in perspective, we did a piece on this. And this is going back 7 or 8 years. This has been going on. It's only gotten worse. But Chris Rock, Jerry Seinfeld, and Larry the Cable Guy, all at the same period of time, announced they are not doing colleges anymore. And
Chris Rock too.
We did jokes like a Jew, a black guy, and a redneck walk into a college, and they all go, "Fuck you! I'm getting out of here."
Right. So they don't work anymore.
If Jerry Seinfeld's act, which can whiten teeth. It's so clean.
He's a pretty clean humorist.
Brilliant.
Yes.
But like if you're upset at Jerry Seinfeld's act, I'm sorry. The problem is you and how you were raised. Spoiler alert, wrong. You were raised wrong. That's the key to everything, is the kids were raised wrong. And it doesn't make me the bad guy because I noticed this. I don't know why you want to join this. I
want to navigate it so I can still be effective in communicating.
Yeah, me too.
But no, you've given up. You're on the rocking chair.
No, I have not given up.
Get off my lawn.
But you have a no. That's stupid.
That's real.
Stupid. It's so fucking. It's demeaning and insulting. No, quite frankly, because it's reducing what I do, which is really subtle.
Yeah,
and a lot of smart people like it.
It's a lot of subtle stuff.
That's what they would say on Fox News.
What?
Oh, he's just old. Get off my lawn. It's a prejudice. It's not accurate. It's not cool.
You're not allowing my free speech.
I'm allowing it. I'm just calling you out on your bullshit. Calling you out on your bullshit.
Because it doesn't agree with you doesn't make it bullshit. It could be just a different point of view. I'm just saying.
Get off my lawn is not a point of view.
But it's a fun reference. Come on, it's a fun reference.
But it's pretending. It's not accurate and it's not honest because it's pretending that all I am is a primal scream against the future coming. I'm not a primal scream. I love the future when it's good.
Do you want to influence that generation?
If you want to bring
then
back,
you navigate it.
If you want to bring back communism, which like a third of them do, no, I'm not going to go. Oh, that's new, isn't it great? I could say, hey, let's shit in the kitchen and eat in the bathroom. It's new. But is it smarter? No. This is what I always tell my friends when they're like, I can't talk to my kids because whatever I think, they go, that's old thinking.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, but is it better thinking? Mm-hmm. Is it better thinking?
Let's shit in the kitchen and eat in the bathroom because it's new. That is an absolutely gold line by Bill Maher, and I'm stealing that. But Bill was so right when he said that the cosmic prophet Neil has absolutely no idea what he's talking about when it comes to stand-up comedy. Neil was essentially just telling Bill Maher, seasoned veteran and a legend of the game in comedy, to start doing woke comedy that pussified little college students won't be offended by. The mere thought of this, the notion of it alone, makes me gag. It makes me throw up in my mouth a little bit. Imagine how much of a gutless, spineless coward you would have to be a comedian and to go to a college campus and bend the knee to the ideology of these little pussified snowflakes. Guys, I'm a big fan of stand-up comedy. It's an art form that I have a deep and profound respect for, and it's for this reason that I find woke comedians so infuriating.
Why do I have so many shoes? Oh God. Hey, look, if shoes didn't exist, you wouldn't have this stereotype of women being obsessed with shoes, right? And sexism wouldn't exist. Shoes create sexism. I'm saying if we get rid of shoes, there'll be no sexism. Like, the poster for The Devil Wears Prada would probably be different.
I genuinely like them less than serial killers, and here's my theory on woke comedy. I've thought long and hard about this, and I've come to the conclusion that woke comedy isn't real. It doesn't exist. The most obvious reason being that it's not funny, and obviously to be a comedian you have to be funny.
By the end of this, you're probably going to be throwing your shoes into the Thames. You'll be so convinced by my argument. Don't do that, guys. That would be really weird. Also, really inconsiderate to all of the animals that live in the river. They don't want your shoes all up in their gills. It's a joke.
But also because comedians are meant to be thought leaders. They're the individuals who are meant to push the boundaries of what's acceptable. They're meant to break the ice and start the conversation that we as a collective need to have. They take the issues that everybody is ignoring or everybody is too scared to talk about, and they say, hey, look at that. And they bring it right to the forefront.
What a stupid time COVID was. Everyone in LA was like, mental health. Make sure your mental health is okay. Is your mental health good? Your mental health? And then the second, COVID was announced, it got all politicized as a virus. They're like, stay in your house! Stay in your house alone, Jeff, with all your alcohol and guns. You don't have a career anymore, so don't worry about it. Also, there's no more sports. All your favorite bars are closed. Try not to blow your brains out. Don't invite anyone over. Cover your fucking face, even indoors. I was like, I think I have some mental health stuff. Try to leave my house to get coffee. They're like, what are you doing? I was like, I don't know. I was going to get a coffee. I don't know. What are you, fucking Republican? I'm like, I think I am, actually. I think I am. You're kind of pushing me that way. I think that I am. Scary.
And the really genius comedians actually have the ability to bridge cultural gaps and to shine a light on and even sometimes make light of dark and confusing situations. And then when you think about what wokeness is that it's an ideology that forces people to stay within the boundaries of what the tyrants deem to be acceptable, and the boundaries that they enforce are getting smaller and smaller by the day. So wokeness is inherently antithetical to comedy. Those two things are total opposites. When people say woke comedy, they're making a logical error. If you say you're a woke comedian, that's like saying you're a blind pilot. And guys, I don't say this lightly when I say that I believe real comedians are the last line of defense when it comes to the woke cultural decline that we're suffering. Just think about it. Institutions that we used to know and love and trust, like Hollywood, went down without a fight. And now 17th century British kings are being cast as Latinx or black women. Corporations bent over straight away and presented their bare asses. And now we have diversity, inclusion, and equity training everywhere. Astrophysicists like the woke oracle Neil, who are meant to be the individuals that are constantly at the coalface of truth, can't even tell you what a woman is. And when this is all said and done, when you take this to its logical conclusion, when the dominoes have fallen and everybody is left in a groveling, self-flagellating puddle of their own tears about their incurable whiteness, who is left? That's right, the comedians. The ones who are willing to stand there and laugh, stick their middle finger up to the orthodoxy and say whatever they want and not give two shits about who they offend. When the comedians stop doing this, and when the wolf in sheep's clothing that call themselves woke comedians take a hold, we are screwed. And now on to the next bit.
I know you think that you had a thing with Martina Navratilova.
What do you mean I have nothing? What do you mean?
A beef. She has beef with you.
Why does she have a beef with me?
Because you think guys with dicks should get in the women's swimming pool, basically.
Well, whatever got clipped and reposted, I don't know. But what I said was that in this emergent space where you have people expressing themselves on a gender spectrum, and you want to now compete in sports, that's still a frontier to be solved. And I don't have the answer, but I can suggest one, whether or not it'll work. Maybe we don't compete by gender anymore. We compete on hormone ratios, okay? There was a woman who had uncommonly high testosterone levels, and they wanted to disqualify her because of how manly she was when she was born a woman and competing as a woman. So that's how we're going to do it.
This is
what you really want. Wait, Bill, no, I've thought this through more than you might think I have.
Oh.
So what you really want is an interesting contest between people who are similarly talented. The least interesting Super Bowl you could ever watch is a blowout by halftime.
See, what we agree on is that there are anomalies in human nature, whereas
yes. Mm-hmm.
The vast majority of people, I'm sorry, are still male or female. And certainly every cell in our body is dictating one of those other sexes. I mean, obviously...
Well, the hormones are.
Yeah. Obviously also I make sperm and other people make eggs.
That's what hormones do. Yeah.
You can't deny that. Okay. So but we, as liberals, we, I think, agree that, there are anomalies in nature and they should be respected and protected. But this attempt to reorganize all of society around what a very tiny percentage, who, again, we can protect and respect without pretending that every baby is a jump ball like penis. What the fuck? I don't know. That doesn't mean anything. We have no idea what this child is. I mean, that seems to be where you want to go. I mean, like, how many people fit this description that we should reorganize sports around? Sports we have men's sports and women's sports. And if the best team in the WNBA played the worst team in the NBA, the score would be 1,000,000-0. Can we organize society around that basic point with this, of course, proviso that we protect and respect people who do not fit into it?
Let's segregate society between dark-skinned people and light-skinned people because that nature made it that way, and that's how it is. So,
nature did make it that way.
You are...
And it's not segregating.
Well, there was a
segregating anything.
That attitude 150 years ago was
2 years ago. You act like this was yes, right. Lincoln. This was a big issue in the Lincoln-Douglas debates. Trans people. That's right.
No, I'm talking about black, white.
I remember that from
I'm talking about
1861. Yes, I remember those debates.
It was 1860.
Lincoln was all about getting trans. Oh, for fuck's sake! You're ridiculous.
No. So here it is. Just all I'm saying is that, how about this? I'm looking at schools in Manhattan, and there's a school there, and there's built in the 20s and 30s, and there's a doorway that says boys, and a separate doorway on the other side of the school that says girls. And I'm thinking,
God!
Why are we doing this?
Because people are mostly boys and girls?
But why split them entering a school building?
Because they pee differently? Jesus Christ, I have to explain this?
No, because you know what I thought when I saw that? It's colored fountain over here, white fountain over here. That's what I thought when I saw that.
Well, that's not the same thing.
Well, it's not exactly the same thing, but that's what I thought. It's not exactly, I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
But this is what I always say about these kind of issues. Like, there's two ways that you can be benighted about something. One, you can be too far from it.
Yeah.
Like, I would be too far from certain issues, racial issues, of course. How could I ever know?
Right.
You can also be lost sort of thinking-wise, as I am, because I'm too far from it, if you're too close to it.
Yes.
You
miss the elephant.
Well, you miss the elephant. It's the fly on the Mona Lisa.
What you want is a match that's interesting to observe, not where one person dominates the other. In wrestling, they know this. There are 10 weight categories. In high school, I was 190 pounds. That was 50 pounds ago or more. I was 190 pounds. Very good incentive to stay there because if I were 1 pound over it, the next category was unlimited. So I was there at 190 pounds. I'm not wrestling someone 127. No. They find somebody else at 127 to wrestle 127. That makes the match more interesting for the viewer. So if we can split wrestling into 10 categories, and that becomes the wrestling match.
But all men against each other.
Correct. So, so now I get
sort
that.
of key point.
Okay. Okay. So all I'm saying is, what is it that makes the man the man? Is it the hormones? Okay. Is it, if it's the hormones and you decide to give yourself a different cocktail of hormones, I'm making this up, by the way. I'm not saying it should happen this way. It's a way to start thinking about it.
It would be
maybe the track meets have hormone categories.
And maybe giving yourself the wrong hormones is deleterious to your health.
This is when Bill Maher can really hit his straps. You see, what Neil deGrasse Tyson is doing here is making a completely bullshit argument purely for ideological purposes. He has conjured up this narrative to try and be woke and fit in, or God knows what the reason actually might be. But whatever the reason, he's not telling the truth. And Bill Maher is recognizing just how disingenuous he is and is calling him out. But to be honest, if this was a conservative saying something as ridiculous as this, I think Bill Maher would have gone a lot harder at them. He would have been absolutely relentless and he would have chased them down. And I wish that he did the same thing to Neil, if I'm totally honest. Because if you just follow this down to its logical conclusion, and if you hold his feet to the fire a little bit, then it just becomes more and more abundantly clear how ridiculous that is and how brittle that worldview is. I would pay good money to see Neil deGrasse Tyson sit across from Candace Owens for an extended period of time and try this shit with her. Now that, for the progressive beacon of light, would be a very tough day at the office. I mean, even in this interview, you can see by the way that Neil was speaking and by his body language that he was pretty uncomfortable saying that 2 + 2 is 19.
I have to explain this?
No, because you know what I thought when I saw that? It's colored fountain over here, white fountain over here. That's what I thought.
So there was definitely a good roasting opportunity there, but we enjoyed it nevertheless. And if you guys would like to enjoy exclusive content on Rattlesnake TV, get early access to my guests and much more, then you can hit those links down below and join me on Locals. Otherwise, you can subscribe to the channel right here. If you want to watch another video, click right here. Till next time, I'm Jake. This is Rattlesnake TV, keeping you armed and dangerous.